Hello Eagles Nation, Vincent Fost here, and welcome to a Week 14 Eagles Chat. But before we get into this Week 14 Eagles Chat, make sure you subscribe to the Eagles Chat YouTube channel, as well with liking this Eagles Chat video. And if you want to see daily updates on your birds, make sure to check out our Instagram at Chat Eagles, where you also can see updates on when we'll be posting Eagles Chats as well. So make sure to show us some love by following us on Instagram. You can find our Instagram in the description of this Eagles Chat video. Let's get more into this Week 14 Eagles Chat. We all know the Eagles went up against the Dallas Cowboys and lost big time. 33-13 Dallas, so another pitiful game by the Philadelphia Eagles. And if change is going to happen, it needs to happen now. And especially after yesterday's performance, it really needs to happen now. So to get even more into this Week 14 Eagles Chat, we're going to start off with the injury update. Now, there's only one big-time injury on this injury update, and that injury being Eagles safety Reed Blankenship. The news with him is he was ruled out yesterday with a concussion, was taken off the field during the game, did not pass concussion protocol, therefore, like I said, being ruled out for the rest of the game. We will continue to monitor that injury as the week goes on, and any updates on that injury, we'll let you know on the Eagles Chat Instagram story. So to get even more into this Week 14 Eagles Chat, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. And that is, instead of having a defensive slide and an offensive slide, we're just going to have this one slide to combine the two. And that is, what's wrong? That being, what is wrong with the Philadelphia Eagles? And looking at it right now, for the blame of these past games, not just yesterday, I really have to go to the top, and I have to go to Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni. Yes, he is good with the fans. He is very Philly-like and, a good guy all in general. But when it comes to his ability to get this team ready to play, I think he fails to do so. And especially looking at these past games, including the games that they won just by the hair on their chinny chin chin against the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs, the Eagles started out so slow, and that is the ability to have this team ready to play football games. I have not seen that there. I have not seen the grit. I have not seen that dog mentality that the Philadelphia Eagles are known for, and that is definitely a big thing that they are lacking. But it does not just stop with Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni. It goes on to the big two-time coordinators, the two main coordinators, Brian Johnson, offensive coordinator, and Sean Desai, the defensive coordinator. Yesterday's game was probably one of the most poorly coordinated games I have seen in a long time. And just starting off with Brian Johnson, you can definitely tell when it looks like the players and the coordinators are on two different planets, that is an issue. And seeing how Brian Johnson called that game to only have 6 points scored by your offense. And that one touchdown they got, it wasn't even scored by the offense. It was scored by a defensive tackle. The Eagles rookie star defensive tackle, Jalen Carter, scored the only touchdown of the game for the Philadelphia Eagles yesterday. So when it gets to the point where a defensive tackle is the only person that scored a touchdown for you yesterday, that really should start bringing a lot of worry to that coaching staff and to the team in general. And seeing all the talent on the team is not the issue with the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles don't have any issues talent-wise. The big issue they have is the people at the helm, and that is Mr. Brian Johnson, Sean Desai, also the way he coordinated that defense. The Dallas offense was picking through that defense like no tomorrow. And I really have to say, both these guys' jobs should be in question 100%. And if you watched my previous Eagles chats, you've probably seen that I was defending both these coordinators somewhat, but I can no longer do that anymore after seeing yesterday's performance. That was a very disgraceful and pitiful performance. And like I said, when it gets to the point where it looks like the players and the coordinators are on two different planets, when the players are walking back to the sideline with a confused look on their face, or just, you saw Jalen Hurts a couple times just walking back, just looking completely confused, that should really start bringing a lot of worry into that clubhouse. And really the guys way at the top above Nick Sirianni, including Howie Roseman and whatnot, should really be looking at this and saying, okay, is this really the way we want to keep going? And the reason I think, and the Eagles, once they get into the playoffs, the reason I think they would lose games is because of the coaching. The Eagles have the talent, but the coaching talent is not there. That is the piece that the Eagles are missing. And without that piece, I do not think the Eagles are going to be going anywhere. I hate to say that. I hate to be telling Eagles Nation that. I really hate to be saying that. But as long as this coaching is the way it is, and unfortunately, as long as these guys are here with Sean Desai and Brian Johnson, I really do not think the Eagles are going to go anywhere. And if you would have asked me earlier in the season with their upcoming schedule being the Seattle Seahawks next game, the New York Giants on Christmas, the Arizona Cardinals, and the New York Giants to finish out the season, if you would have asked me at the beginning of the season, I would have said they had a pretty good chance of winning those games. Looking at it now, I don't know if the Eagles will win any one of those games because even though Seattle lost their game yesterday, they are a very gritty team. And as long with New York as well, they don't have a good record, but they've been winning games all of a sudden. So right now, I'm really starting to question the Eagles' ability to win games. And it seems to be getting worse every week. At the end of games, Nick Sirianni comes to the podium and says, yeah, we know we have to coach better. We know we have to improve. But at every game that happens, it seems to be getting worse. So at this rate with the Philadelphia Eagles, the coaching really needs to be looked at because the coaching is the thing that is bringing this team down big time and needs to be there for their players, which it doesn't seem like they're being now. Maybe in the locker room, I know Sirianni is good in the locker room. I'm not criticizing him there for that because you do not know what happens in the locker room. Some things are between the coaches and the players, which are not to the public. But seeing how and during games, how the coaching staff and the players react to each other, it does not look good. And just seeing at the end of plays, when the players are walking back to the sideline, they do not seem to be, the coordinators and the players do not seem to be on the same page. So that right there is something that really needs to change. And the changes in this team, I think, instead of on the field, they need to happen on the sideline. And that goes for the coaching staff. But as we get into this Eagles chat even more, we're going to have Jalen Hurts now. The slide with him. Let's go over his numbers. 18 out of 27 for passing. He passed for 197 yards, and for his running, he had 5 carries for 30 yards. Jalen Hurts has not been playing the best either, but right now, like I said, the players and the coordinators seem to both be on 2 different planets right now, and really the thing is, Jalen Hurts, he is very good with keeping himself calm, and I hope that he improves even more. I know I've been saying this, it seems like a broken record. I've been saying this a lot. Hopefully Jalen Hurts gets better as the games go on. But as of right now, he's not looking the greatest either in terms of how he's back there panicking as well. Now I cannot blame him. Yesterday he made some pretty good throws which were not picked up by his receivers. And I mean, just looking at yesterday, it's very hard to blame a quarterback. If a team does bad, a lot of people automatically jump on the quarterback saying he's not good, he's not this, he's not that. But I really cannot put all the blame on Jalen Hurts, especially yesterday's game. It is very hard to put all the blame on Jalen Hurts. So just think about that right now. I would not put all the blame on Jalen Hurts. That is 100% for sure. But as we get into this part, Eagles, next game against the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle. That game was not Monday Night Football. It used to not be Monday Night Football, but it was moved to Monday Night Football. December 18th, 8:15 p.m. So the Eagles, another primetime game. If they are going to change things around, it needs to happen next game. They really need to rebound from this, settle everyone down, get that dog mentality that we know the Philadelphia Eagles have. Hopefully they can get that back and get themselves back on the winning way of football. So I really got to say, for this Week 14 Eagles chat, was not a great game at all by the Philadelphia Eagles, but hopefully, like I said, hopefully they can rebound and get back to their winning ways before we know it. That's all I really got to say for this Week 14 Eagles chat. And as I always say, and I will never stop saying it, go Birds.